The Galactic Council met in the grand chamber of their vast space station, a structure that floated silently in the void of space. Council members from various planets gathered, each representing different species, cultures, and perspectives. They sat in a large circular room, their faces illuminated by holographic screens displaying data and reports. Among the council, there was a sense of superiority. They had ruled the galaxy for thousands of years and believed they were the strongest civilization. As they discussed the threats posed by various races, laughter echoed in the chamber. The humans, a young and emerging species from a small blue planet called Earth, were often the subject of jokes. Humans? What could they possibly do? One member sneered, waving a tentacle dismissively. However, deep in the heart of Earth, a different story was unfolding. Scientists and engineers worked tirelessly, hidden from the eyes of the Council. For months, they had been building something incredible, a massive warship named Titanus. This dreadnought was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen, a symbol of human ingenuity and strength. Back in the Council chamber, a sudden alarm blared. The holographic screens flickered and changed, revealing a strange signal coming from Earth. "What is this?" another council member exclaimed, their eyes widening. The council had not expected to receive any communication from the humans. They quickly switched their focus to the signal, hoping to find some sort of threat or useful information. As they analyzed the signal, confusion spread. "It appears to be a series of coded messages," a voice reported, eyes darting across the data. "But they seem to be non-threatening." The members squirmed in their seats, trying to make sense of the unexpected situation. Most dismissed it as a harmless attempt at communication, but a few felt a twinge of worry. "Why should we care about humans? They're just children playing in a cosmic sandbox," one member scoffed. "Let's not waste our time." But another member, a wise elder from a long-lived species, raised a warning. "Do not underestimate them. Earth is developing rapidly. We might find ourselves in trouble if we ignore them." The room fell silent as members considered this. Suddenly, the screens displayed a video from Earth. It showed a large crowd gathered at a launch site, excitement buzzing in the air. "What are they doing?" a member asked, leaning closer to the screen. The video revealed the Titanus, its massive frame towering over the crowd. Humans cheered and waved flags, their faces filled with pride and hope. The Dreadnought was a spectacle, with gleaming hulls and advanced technology that shimmered in the sunlight. As it took to the skies, the council members watched in shock, their laughter fading away. "What is this?" one member whispered, unable to hide the fear creeping into their voice. The ship soared into the atmosphere, and the ground shook as it prepared for its first flight. The display was impressive, showcasing the human spirit of determination and ambition. Back on Earth, the cheers grew louder. People had gathered from all corners of the planet to witness this moment. News of the Titanus had spread like wildfire, uniting humanity in a way never seen before. They were no longer just a simple species. They had created something extraordinary. As the council continued to watch, a sense of panic began to seep into their discussions. They had underestimated humanity for far too long. "We should send a delegation," one member suggested, realizing that this might be their last chance to understand the humans before it was too late. "No! We cannot show weakness!" another shouted. The debate escalated as fear and uncertainty filled the chamber. In that moment, the Galactic Council faced a shocking reality. The humans they had mocked were not only rising, but had just unveiled a game-changer. The balance of power in the galaxy was shifting, and they would have to decide how to respond before it was too late. The once dismissed species was no longer a joke. They were a serious force, and the Council could no longer ignore them. With the signals still echoing in their minds, the Council members knew they were at a crossroads, one that could alter the course of history. The sun shone brightly over the launch site on Earth, where thousands of eager faces filled the area. Excitement crackled in the air like static electricity as people gathered to witness history in the making. Today was the day the humans would reveal their greatest achievement, the Titanus, the largest dreadnought ever built. In the crowd, families held hands, friends cheered, and children waved colorful banners. Many had come from far and wide, traveling great distances to be part of this moment. They wore shirts emblazoned with the Dreadnought's insignia, a symbol of pride for all humanity. The atmosphere was electric, and everyone could feel it, the hope, the excitement, and the unity that this ship represented. At the center of the launch site, the Titanus stood tall and imposing. Its sleek lines and massive frame glinted in the sunlight, showcasing advanced technology that seemed almost otherworldly. Engineers and scientists moved around, making final checks and preparations. They understood the importance of this day, not just for their own species, but for the galaxy. As the countdown began, the crowd fell silent. The voice of the chief engineer echoed through loudspeakers, filled with emotion. Today, we show the galaxy what humanity is capable of. This ship is a testament to our strength, our creativity, and our spirit. The crowd erupted into cheers, their voices ringing out in harmony. 3, 2, 1, ignition! A roar filled the air as the Titanus's engines roared to life, shaking the ground beneath everyone's feet. Flames burst from the rear, and with a powerful thrust, the Dreadnought lifted off the ground. The crowd gasped, then cheered wildly as the ship ascended into the sky, leaving a trail of smoke and fire behind it. It was a breathtaking sight, unlike anything they had ever seen. As the Titanus climbed higher, it began to execute impressive maneuvers, showcasing its agility. It looped and spun, a display of engineering brilliance and human skill. The crowd erupted in applause, tears of joy streaming down many faces. People hugged and celebrated, proud of what their species had accomplished. Back in the Galactic Council chamber, the atmosphere was tense. Members stared at the live feed from Earth, their expressions a mix of shock and disbelief. "Is this real?" One member gasped, unable to process what they were witnessing. "It's not just a ship," another murmured, their voice trembling. "It's a statement." The council members shifted in their seats, their earlier laughter replaced by a heavy silence. They had thought humanity was just a minor player in the grand game of the galaxy, but now it was clear that the humans had something extraordinary. The Titanus was not just a warship, it was a symbol of defiance and ambition. As the Titanus completed its demonstration, the ship hovered majestically above the launch site. The chief engineer took a moment to address the world. "To all the people of Earth and to those watching across the galaxy, we stand united. We are not afraid. We will protect our home and our future." The speech resonated deeply with viewers. Across the galaxy, many who tuned in were captivated. Some aliens who once mocked humanity now found themselves filled with respect and curiosity. The council members began to argue among themselves. "We need to act," one shouted. "They have shown they can defend themselves. If we ignore this, we may regret it." Another member countered. "But how? We cannot approach them with hostility. They have proven they are powerful. We must find a way to communicate." As they debated, a sense of urgency filled the room. The Galactic Council had always seen themselves as the guardians of peace and order in the galaxy, but now they faced a new reality. Humanity was no longer an afterthought. They were a rising force, and the Council could no longer take them lightly. Back on Earth, the crowd continued to celebrate. Fireworks exploded in the sky, painting it with vibrant colors. The Titanus had not just become a dreadnought, it had united humanity and ignited a spark of pride. They knew that this was just the beginning, and the galaxy would soon learn that humans were not to be underestimated. As the Titanus flew high, a new chapter for humanity was about to unfold, and the Galactic Council would soon have to face the consequences of their earlier dismissals. The stage was set for a dramatic shift in the balance of power, and no one knew what would happen next. The atmosphere in the Galactic Council chamber was thick with tension. Council members, who had once laughed at humanity, now sat with furrowed brows, their holographic screens displaying footage of the Titanus soaring through the sky. What had once seemed like a minor species had just transformed into a significant player in the galaxy. "We cannot ignore this," said Eldor, a wise elder with shimmering blue skin. His voice carried weight, and all eyes turned to him. "The humans have proven they are capable of great things. We must decide how to respond." Council members exchanged worried glances. Some still clung to their previous beliefs, while others felt a growing sense of respect for the humans. "We should send a message to Earth," suggested Kranth, a sharp-eyed member from a warlike species. "Show them we are not afraid." Eldor shook his head. "That could lead to disaster. If we approach them with threats, they might retaliate. We need to understand their intentions first." The council erupted in debate. Voices raised as members argued back and forth. "They have a ship that can rival ours! We cannot allow them to think they are equal!" Kranth shouted, slamming a fist on the table. "But if we attack, we could push them into a corner," replied Mira, a member known for her diplomatic skills. "They might become hostile. What if the Titanus is just the beginning? What if they have more surprises?" The discussion became heated, with members calling out their fears and desires. A council member from a small but technologically advanced planet stood up. "We should reach out diplomatically. Perhaps they are willing to talk. We need to find common ground." Kranth rolled his eyes. "Common ground? They are still a young species. They will not take us seriously unless we show strength." Eldor raised his voice to quiet the room. "Let us not forget our history. Many times underestimating a species has led to our downfall. We must tread carefully. We have seen their unity today. They are not what they once were." As the debate continued, images of humans celebrating their success filled the screens. Their faces, full of pride and determination, reflected their growing unity as a species. The council members could see how the Titanus had inspired hope and confidence among the people of Earth. Finally, the noise subsided, and a heavy silence fell over the chamber. "We need to send a delegation," Eldor declared, his tone firm. "A group to Earth to discuss our concerns and to understand their intentions." Kranth leaned back, his arms crossed. "And if they refuse to talk? If they come to see us as a threat? Then we will be ready," Eldor replied. "But for now, we must show them respect. It is the only way to ensure peace." Mira nodded in agreement. "We can't afford to appear aggressive. If we do, we risk creating an enemy when we might have an ally." After much deliberation, the council finally agreed. A small team would be sent to Earth, including Eldor as the leader. Their mission would be to establish a dialogue, to learn what humanity truly wanted, and to avoid conflict at all costs. As the meeting adjourned, Eldor felt a mix of hope and dread. He knew this was a crucial moment for both the Galactic Council and humanity. What if the humans welcomed them? What if they viewed the Council with distrust? Meanwhile, on Earth, news of the Council's decision spread rapidly. People celebrated their achievements, but were also anxious about the future. What will they want? A woman wondered aloud as she watched a news broadcast. "We'll be ready," her friend replied, determination in her voice. "We've come too far to back down now." Back in the council chamber, Eldor and his team prepared for their journey. They knew that they were walking into uncharted territory. The stakes were high, and both species stood on the brink of a new era. Would they find a way to work together, or would their differences lead to conflict? The path ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Humanity had made its mark, and the galaxy would never be the same. As Eldor looked out at the stars, he felt a stirring sense of hope. It was time to reach out to the humans and discover the truth about their newfound strength. The atmosphere on Earth was electric as the news spread that a delegation from the Galactic Council was coming. People gathered in homes and public spaces, their excitement mixed with anxiety. What would the aliens want? Would they come in peace or with threats? In a large conference room in a spaceport, representatives from both sides prepared to meet. The humans, dressed in formal attire, looked sharp and ready. They had spent days discussing their approach, determined to show strength and unity. The Galactic Council members arrived in sleek ships, their advanced technology leaving the humans in awe. As the Council delegation disembarked, a hush fell over the crowd. Eldor, leading the delegation, stepped forward with a calm demeanor. He was the wise elder who had pushed for dialogue and understanding. Behind him, other members of the Council eyed the humans with curiosity and caution. The humans were led by General Harper, a strong figure known for his bravery and tactical mind. He stepped forward to greet Eldor, extending a hand. "Welcome to Earth," he said, his voice steady but firm. Eldor returned the gesture, his eyes showing respect. "Thank you, General Harper. We come in peace and with a desire to understand." As they entered the conference room, the tension was palpable. The human representatives took their seats, their eyes scanning the council members. Everyone was aware that this meeting could change the fate of both species. "Let us begin," Eldor said, his voice commanding yet inviting. "We have seen your ship, the Titanus, and we are impressed. It is a remarkable achievement for a young species." General Harper nodded. "Thank you. We have worked hard to reach this point. But we must ask, why are you here? What do you want from us?" Eldor paused, sensing the underlying tension. "We wish to discuss the future of our relationship. There are many who fear humanity, seeing your rise as a potential threat. We want to find common ground. Harper leaned forward, his expression serious. Many of us feel the same way. We have no intention of being a threat, but we will defend ourselves if necessary. Your ships are powerful, and we've seen what can happen when a species feels cornered. A murmur swept through the council members. Kranth, the warlike representative, spoke up. You must understand, humans, that power dynamics in the galaxy are delicate. If you continue to develop your military, we may have no choice but to act. The room went silent. Harper's eyes narrowed and the tension rose. Is that a threat? We will not be intimidated. We've worked hard to achieve our strength and we will not back down. Eldor raised a hand to calm both sides. Let us not let fear dictate our actions. We are here to learn and to communicate. If we approach each other with respect, we can avoid conflict. Harper took a deep breath. Then let us talk. What do you propose? Eldor leaned in, his tone earnest. We propose an alliance. Together we can work to ensure peace in the galaxy. We can learn from each other's strengths and share knowledge. Kranth scoffed, clearly unconvinced. And what if the humans decide to use this alliance for their own gain? We cannot trust you completely. The room grew tense again. The humans exchanged glances, realizing the depth of suspicion from the council. Trust is built over time, Harper replied, his voice steady. We want to build a future where both our species can thrive, but we need to feel safe as well. If you see us as a threat, this alliance will never work. Eldor nodded. You are right, General. Safety must come first. Perhaps we can begin with a mutual agreement to share technology and knowledge without fear of hostility. The conversation continued, shifting from tension to cautious optimism. Both sides began to understand each other's fears and desires. They discussed ways to ensure security while fostering collaboration. As the meeting progressed, they began to find common ground. Ideas flowed, and for the first time, both humans and council members started to see each other not just as potential enemies, but as allies with a shared goal. As the sun set over Earth, casting a warm glow over the conference room, a sense of hope filled the air. They still had much to learn, but for now, they had taken a crucial step toward understanding each other. Outside, crowds watched with bated breath, waiting for news of the meeting. The future was uncertain, but both sides had made the first move towards peace. As Eldor and Harper shook hands once more, they knew this was just the beginning of a new chapter in the galaxy, one filled with possibilities. The sun rose over the horizon, casting golden light across the earth. It was a new day, and with it came hope and promise. After the tense meeting between the humans and the Galactic Council, both sides were ready to embark on a journey of cooperation and understanding. In a large hall filled with representatives from Earth and various alien species, anticipation buzzed in the air. Banners of peace hung from the walls, showcasing symbols from both worlds. The atmosphere was electric, filled with excitement about what lay ahead. General Harper stood at the podium, looking out at the diverse crowd. Today marks a new beginning, he began, his voice steady and strong. After much discussion, we have agreed on a plan to foster peace between humanity and the Galactic Council. Together we can achieve great things! The audience erupted in applause, cheers echoing throughout the hall. Harper's heart swelled with pride. This was not just a victory for humanity, it was a victory for all who sought harmony in the galaxy. Eldor, the leader of the council, stepped forward next. His presence commanded respect, and the room quieted as he spoke. We have seen the strength of humanity, not just in your technology, but in your spirit. We are honored to take this step with you. Together we will create a council of cooperation, ensuring that all voices are heard. More applause followed, and the excitement grew. The council and human representatives began discussing the specifics of their collaboration. They would share technology, knowledge, and resources, paving the way for advancements that could benefit both species. As discussions continued, Mira, a council member known for her diplomatic skills, proposed a cultural exchange program. Understanding each other's cultures will strengthen our bond. We should send ambassadors to each other's worlds, allowing for direct communication and shared experiences. The idea resonated with everyone. The thought of humans experiencing alien worlds, and vice versa, filled the room with enthusiasm. General Harper nodded in agreement. This will help break down barriers. We must know each other as people, not just as species. Plans were made to select ambassadors from both sides. The goal was to foster friendships that would extend beyond politics. The council members were excited about the prospect of learning about Earth's diverse cultures, while humans looked forward to discovering alien customs and traditions. As the meeting progressed, discussions turned to security. Both sides recognized the need to ensure peace. They agreed to form a joint task force to address any potential threats, uniting their strengths to protect each other. This was a significant step forward, as it showed trust and a commitment to cooperation. Outside crowds had gathered, eager to hear the outcome of the meeting. News channels broadcast live updates, capturing the excitement of the moment. People around the world celebrated, waving flags and singing songs of unity. Social media exploded with messages of hope and anticipation. As night fell, the atmosphere in the hall shifted to one of celebration. A banquet was organized, featuring food from both Earth and alien planets. The table overflowed with dishes that reflected the rich diversity of their cultures. Laughter filled the air as humans and aliens shared meals, stories, and jokes. During the festivities, Eldor and Harper found a moment to speak privately. "Today is just the start," Eldor said, his eyes shining with hope. "We have much to learn from each other." Harper nodded. "Yes, but if we stay united, we can overcome any challenges. Our worlds may be different, but our goals are the same." As the night continued, the two leaders made a pact, a promise to work together, to safeguard their futures, and to strive for peace. They knew that challenges lay ahead, but they were ready to face them together. As the stars twinkled above, signaling the beginning of a new era, both humans and aliens felt a shared sense of purpose. They had taken the first steps toward a brighter future, one built on understanding, respect, and friendship. The galaxy was vast and filled with mysteries, but for the first time, humanity and the Galactic Council stood together, ready to explore it hand in hand. This was not just a new beginning for two species, it was a new chapter for the entire galaxy. The future was bright and the possibilities were endless.